What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the second episode of what I'm going to start calling Treasure in the Tool Shed. You know, last time I said I was going to come up with a name, came up with one. I think Treasure in the Tool Chest is what I'm going to go with. So today, went to the flea market yesterday, and I got a mega deal in my personal opinion. I mean, it was a great find. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to do a double header here. I've actually got something else I want to show off that I bought a couple weeks ago at the same flea market, one here in town. If you're watching, you're not from here, Front Row Flea Market here is where most of my stuff comes from. Flea markets, whatnot. Yard crawl when they do it. Double toll gate flea market. And Facebook Marketplace. But Facebook Marketplace, you know, everybody values their junk as treasure. Kind of defeats the purpose of looking on a budget. So yesterday I'm walking through, stumbled across the table there. Didn't really have anything of significant appearance, so I'm looking around on it anyway, because you just never know what you're going to find. And thank God I did keep looking, because I found a first edition For Whom the Bells Toll, Ernest Hemingway. This book was printed in, let's see, I think like October 26, 1940. When I opened this book up, it's got on the inside somebody's name from November 6, 1940. Definitely an original. It's a survivor. You know, like most books this old, most people didn't plan on keeping them forever, even though For Whom the Bell Tolls was voted like one of the most top 100 most influential pieces. You know, they didn't make it. And of course with this one, pieces of it didn't make it as well, because it's missing a dust cover, which greatly affects the price. You know, this book can go for thousands of dollars if it's in good shape, if it's got a signature. This one doesn't have a signature. It is a first edition. It's missing a dust cover. My cost, $2. $2 for this great book. You know, For Whom the Bell Tolls was pretty controversial. If you know anything about Hemingway, he was kind of a controversial writer. He's been banned a lot. There's been groups in the United States that banned him. They said some of his writing was pro-communist. I don't know. This book was actually banned in a couple countries right after it came out. It was banned in Spain for a while. It was banned in Italy too. Italy was pretty irritated at the way he portrayed some Italian troops in their retreat from Caparetta. They didn't like that very much. Banned in Italy. I don't know if it still is. Probably not. Probably got over that room. It was banned in the United States once or twice, not very much. There's some groups that were pretty critical of it, because it's got some pretty raunchy writing in it. Both sexual and just outright gritty, raw writing. The book is, you know, fictional, but it has some truth to it, kind of, sort of. Hemingway was a news correspondent in the Spanish Civil War. Spanish Civil War is when this takes place. He was a war correspondent for the United States, so he had pretty good insight on what was going on there. The Spanish Civil War took place prior to World War II. Some people say, you know, it was kind of like a test run, if you will, for World War II. You had the Russians backing certain groups, guerrillas, and you had, you know, the Nazis and the fascists were backing the other side, whatever. Or not the Nazis, you know, like the Italian fascists, Mussolini, whatnot. So the book, it's a great book. It's one of, you know, I already said, top 100 most influential literary works. I haven't read through it. Evidently there are some copies where the bad words have been replaced, and he kind of did it in a snarky way when he did it. All the curse words were replaced with simply, instead of dropping an F-bomb, they just put obscenity. You know, it was kind of like a go F yourself, go obscenity yourself. But it's a great book, and I am tickled pink to have found a first edition. You just don't come across these types of things every day, and you really don't come across them at flea markets. That's why you got to look at every single table. You can't stress that enough. Anywhere you go, even a flea market, you have to look at every table, and you have to look close, because, of course, I got there a little late yesterday. A lot of people had already walked right by this book and had no idea what they were looking at. And I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot by telling everybody, but you know what? That's what we're here for, is to, you know, show you how you can get these types of things. So Ernest Hemingway's For Whom the Bell Tolls, $200. I'd probably get like 100, 150 bucks for the book, you know, if I were to sell it. I might sell it, actually. I don't really, you know, get this in the hands of somebody else who would really appreciate it. That's the other thing about this kind of stuff. There's some things that I buy that's, you know, they're a cool buy, but they're for sale. This specifically, my library is already at the max. So yeah, Ernest Hemingway's For Whom the Bell Tolls, $2 Front Row Flea Market. I'm gonna stick a $100 price tag on that bad deal. Maybe, we'll see. I don't really want to get rid of it yet. Gotta hold on to it for a little bit longer. Alright, now we're on to the next thing. I said this was going to be a double header. Let's get into the double header part. Also, drinking a Dale's Pale Ale today. Pretty good beer for a rainy day. Not too shabby. Alright, so you can see I got 2 jackets here. Picked these up at the same Front Row Flea Market about, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. Maybe a little bit longer than that. Maybe closer to a month. These are really cool jackets. Alright. So we'll start out here with the US jacket. Nothing real special about this one. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail because I don't know a whole lot of detail about it. The guy said World War II. I'm not thinking World War II. I'm thinking a little bit later, maybe Korea. There's nothing really, you know, there's no patches on it. The old tag there in the back's kind of gone. Got one little guy here. Really not much to it. It's wool. I'm thinking, you know, probably Korea. I mean, it could be World War II. If you guys, anybody out there is like good with World War II, Korea, military, you know, leave a comment below and tell me what you think it is. I'll hold it up here. I'll put some pictures up too. But I'm thinking maybe Korea. All right. So let's get on down the line here. What else I got? And along with that, got this helmet, little turtle shell. The thing about this is, you know, I know most of these helmets have a serial number inside of them somewhere. This one's still got the liner in it too, which is nice. But in looking at this one, I have looked high and low on the inside of this thing, and nowhere on it can I find a serial number. I don't know if that's any significance as to why I can't find one. I was told World War II. I'm thinking again, could be a little bit later than World War II. Other than that, it's in pretty good shape. A little bit of the paint's missing. Got a little bit of rust. You know, some of the paint's kind of bubbling up. It hasn't been repainted, which is good. The inside's in great shape. You know, a little bit of rust, like I said. But usually on the brim here, on the back, you'll have a serial number. This one doesn't have a serial number, so I can't put a specific time to it. Again, just like the jacket, if anybody knows, you know, a little bit more about it than me, you know, please leave me a comment so I can get to the bottom of it. Liner's in good shape. And the liner's actually in immaculate shape for the age, if it is World War II. The leather in it's still good. The chin strap is still intact. You know, leather made it that long. It's in good shape. Some of the bands in here are kind of ratty, but on the whole, they're all still there, which is nice, and they're not totally falling apart. It's in great shape for its age, if it is World War II. I'm thinking maybe a little bit newer than that, but then again, I don't have anything in here to tell me otherwise. So if anybody knows, you know, comment below. I'm gonna tell you the price on all this stuff afterwards. I got a great deal on all this. Well, we're out bargain hunting on a serious budget. All right, now for the cool part, right? Not that this stuff isn't cool, because it was. Got this sweet. Now I know this is World War II. Sweet World War II German jacket. This thing, again, just like the American jacket, is in great shape. It is missing, which is kind of irritating. It's missing the buttons. Would have had, you know, some buttons up here. I'm sure there might have been some other patches and whatnot on it at the time. The button's missing. Even with that being said, this is still a really cool jacket. We're going to get into why this is a cool jacket. All right, come over here on the side. That patch right there was for the U.S. Being in Austria post-war from like 1945 to 1955. The United States went into Austria, into Vienna, and helped them set up their government. Of course, their government at the time was under Nazi occupation. So the U.S. went in post-war, like I said, all the way up to 1955. They came to some sort of treaty, whatnot. They, you know, had their own government. The United States was there. That's what this is. So the guy obviously got himself a nice German jacket, and he made it his own. So you've got this on there, which, you know, kind of hints to me that the guy was probably there pre-war. And the fact that he has this means that he hung around after the war for a good while. There's no real way to date it. I don't know if he was there in 1945. I don't know if he was there in 1955, but he was there either way. And that's not the type of patch that just any, people will put patches on old jackets and stuff. That patch right there isn't a patch that somebody would just stick on there, because it's not really, there's no combat behind that or anything like that. That's just showing that they were there as like security forces afterwards, helping them reset up their government, whatnot. Now, for the cool part. That patch right there is for the Super 6, the 6th Cavalry Unit. Cavalry. Armored Division, I'm sorry. Had a brain fart. 6th Armored Division, the Super 6. Those guys were there from Normandy all the way up through the end, clearly because he's got this. It was a bad unit. They were engaged all over Europe through the entire war. You don't just get called the Super 6 for nothing. Pretty neat, that the guy clearly, I don't know the story about how he got the jacket. It could have just been a surplus, but when you find these old things, you like to think that maybe there was a cool story behind how somebody actually got their hands on this kind of stuff, and then of course made it their own by putting their own patches on there. Of course he had that sweet Super 6 patch on there. So the price here in total, I think I paid like $5 a piece for the jackets, and the dude wanted 10 for the helmet. I gave him 7. So you're talking 17, 10 and 7, 17 bucks, under 20 bucks. So for under 20 bucks, I got some cool jackets. I'm not gonna wear them or anything, but they will make cool wall hangers in the man cave. It's just little things like that. You stumble across at any flea market, you're gonna find the guy that's got milsurp. Every flea market's got the military surplus guy in there somewhere, and sometimes you'll come across the old stuff. A lot of the times you come across the old stuff and it's pretty nasty. It smells like mothballs. These don't smell like mothballs. Somebody had these hanging up in the closet. But when you really find something cool, it's got that kind of stuff on it. Like, the 6th Armored Division, and the Austria badge here, patch, those aren't things that people would have just put on there. I can almost guarantee you, promise, that that the guy that put these on here, this is legit. This is the old stuff. That's what you're looking for. And without having any real way to date it, that's the only thing you can go off of. Pretty sure it's in here somewhere. I thought in here there was some, anyway, there might have been something that gave you some info on the jacket. There might not have been. I can't remember. It's been a couple weeks. It's been hanging up. I think I found something in here that kind of pointed you in the right direction on the jacket. Everything that I did find on it pointed to the fact of it being late 30s, early 40s German. Kind of disappointed that the buttons are gone, but that's the kind of stuff people took as war prizes. So to even find the jacket, you're lucky to find. A lot of people just pitch this stuff. It goes to the Salvation Army, and of course they pitch it because they're not going to stick a Nazi jacket out on the thing. I know a lot of people are scared to collect this kind of stuff, but if you don't collect it, who's going to? I mean, I don't discriminate on finding cool stuff. It's part of history. You got to collect it. So again, if anybody knows anything about either one of these two, if you see something specific on one of these that like screams to you, hey, that's from 1939. They only made those in 1939. The helmet. If you're like that's Korean War. If you have any info, comment below. I'm really curious to find out some more information about this kind of stuff. So guys, that's it for episode 2 of Treasure in the Tool Shed. Episode 3 is coming. I'm gonna try to do like maybe one a week. If I come across some cool stuff in the middle of the week, I might put out like a bonus. But once a week, I'm gonna come out here and we're gonna talk about some cool stuff. So yeah, comment below. Let me know what you got. Like I said, if any of you guys come across anything cool, you want to come hang out in the tool shed, we'll talk about it and drink a beer. Let's do it. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. What's up, guys? So if you like what you see here, be sure to click that little bell and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We also have a Facebook page, Treasure in the Tool Shed. Be sure to go on there and give us a like and a follow, and be sure to like and share everything you see. I know you will. I don't have to tell you. Same thing with the YouTube channel. Be sure to share out those videos. And, once a week, we're going to try to get something out there. In the meantime, help me out by liking, subscribing, and sharing. I really appreciate it. You guys take it easy out there, and we'll see you on the next one.